I'm going to call us to order. Welcome. I'm going to do my required roll call. Kevin is not here. I am here. Kelsey, not here. Anna?
Here.
Terry? Here. Emily is not here. Stacy?
Here?
Shane? Here. Joanna?
She got the flu the last minute.
Okay. And then Eva and Eleanor are here as well. So we are accounted for. Is there a motion to approve the meeting minutes that were submitted?
Make a motion to approve.
Stacy moves.
Second.
And seconds. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Hang on, let me grab Sandy.
Okay. Citizens comment. Oh, here's Kelsey.
I can't promote her, hang on. Sandy.
Come back. We'll wait 1 second.
How many people did we end up? I mean, it was so many more people on MLK Day than we had the first year, which was still a lot.
I missed her. Will let me let her talk, but it's not letting me promote her to panelist.
Okay.
And I don't know why that is, so.
So can she hear us?
She should be able to hear us, but we can't hear her until us.
Okay. Kelsey, can you hear us?
Here, yes.
Okay, we can't see you, but we can hear, you can hear us, we can hear. Great. Okay, so that was it, no citizens comments. Okay, so first of all, I want to say a big thank you to everyone who helped with MLK Day, especially Kelsey, so we'll talk more about that later. That was a really great turnout and a great event. I've gotten a number of inquiries about Mount Lebanon and ICE, and we had those conversations in the past. But I want to just say that I continue to get questions about, does Mount Lebanon have an agreement? Could they secretly enter an agreement? You know, things like that. And what I asserted is what we've heard in this meeting previously, is that it would have to go before the commission if any agreement was entered. And I don't know if other people have been part of conversations or had questions, because I just think it's something that folks wonder about. And
It came up at our HOA annual meeting, asking what the municipality was going to do. So I think a lot of people were interested.
And then Laura, have we like put anything out, like a legal alert or anything, writing in Mount Lebanon magazine, like reiterating, what our policy is, which is very, it's clear, it's
Commission asked us
understandable,
not
but.
to.
Okay, so that's right, okay. Thank you, that's a good refresher, yes. So thank you. So yes, and we've gotten some inquiries about that. And there, is like a standard response, which is, something we could distribute to all of you. And if you want to, give some input on that. Because I do know that some communities such as Oakmont, in terms of what recently happened, changed their language and made some of their policies maybe a little more clear and a little more stronger. So if you're, interested, I could send that on to you, know kind of what our standard response is, and, just be curious what people think.
yeah,
so.
I mean, I'd be happy to look at it. I think, we'd be happy to.
Yeah, as a
group give
right,
feedback on it. I also, as in terms of our advice to the commission, I think as more communities are publicly addressing this, the county now has, is working its way through legislation that publicly addresses this, Oakmont, Coraopolis. I mean, it's a question. It may be a moment to reevaluate the strategy.
Right,
So,
right, exactly. Yeah. Okay. Do we want to put that on our agenda then for next month? I mean, after you review this and then discuss it.
Just to let you know, it's usually a backwards decision. Usually the commission would ask this board for advice rather than this board telling the commission they should discuss it.
Right. So all I'm just saying is that it would be on in this committee, it would be on our agenda for this committee for next month. I mean, we could just
I think
put it
the
under
commission
new
needs
business.
the commission needs to ask us to.
Thank you. That's what I was trying to say.
The commission needs to ask for our opinion.
Right.
I'm
Okay,
suggesting
so
the
I will
commission may
ask-
want to ask our opinion.
Okay, so yes, so I
They
will
want to ask our opinion.
This is a really good for Yes, thank you, okay. So, yeah, so I can
Yeah.
put that out there, okay.
Yeah, I
All right.
mean, you know, my advice is to the commission, could become our advice to the commission, is that there's a moment to reevaluate how
Right.
publicly this is being discussed, so.
Okay, so I'll email the commissioners then.
Margaret, I'm curious, does the commission currently have a talking point or something that you could communicate to us? Because basically, I remember a couple months ago, we were told, if somebody asks a question, point them to the policy.
That is the talking point.
Right, so basically that there is now a standard response that you would send to a constituent who inquires about ICE. So that is what I was planning, assuming the other commissioners want this to be discussed in this committee, then I would be sending that, to you, which we could, distribute in terms of this is currently where we are in terms of what we're communicating to the public. So yes, we do have a standard response, yes. So, yeah. But right, there's definitely been obviously inquiry about this, given, that things have accelerated and we see other communities, changing some language and some policies, so.
I was at a meeting that Hillary Wheatley was at, and she said that ICE, this was in December, ICE was staking out in unmarked vans right in front of her court, and when documents would come to state court, they would grab them, throw them in the van and drive away. And then now they're in contempt of state court and federal things, and so have you heard of that still happening or ever?
This is news to me, I haven't
Yeah,
heard of
she
any.
was-
Yeah, I haven't heard any new update, from her.
We were all just like, oh my God, she said it was happening in those weeks.
Okay, all right, well, yeah, I'll send out an email tonight when I get home, yeah.
And then our annual report. So every year we need to submit in writing an annual report of our activities. So the way that we did this last year is everyone who was involved in anything wrote me a couple sentences. You send it to me and then I'll put together a report.
When do you want it?
By in 10 days, 2 weeks. So how about get it to me by the 17th.
And then you all will vote on that compiled report at your March meeting.
If we didn't share anything, we don't know anything.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Margaret, will you do the one that was on the award since you chaired that?
She
Service award?
probably shouldn't.
No,
Yeah. Who else was on the committee? You were on the committee.
I was on there and
There's no one over here. Can you do
I'll do it.
Yeah, thanks.
Last man
Yeah.
standing.
Yeah, because these are typically, what you could also, know if you so choose to, you could send last year's
I
to
could-
people,
I
yeah,
could
so they
send
can
last
just follow that format and,
Okay.
yeah, right.
I'll send last year. And then, Kevin can do all the mediations because he seems to, since he's not here, he sent his report in writing. He seems to be
Oh,
aware
yeah.
of
Impressive.
yeah, that stuff.
Yes.
So
Yeah, so I know he's already had some
Yeah.
mediation to work on, so,
we'll
yeah.
talk about that.
Yes,
when we get to
yes.
that, so. Okay, so that's what I have. So, Margaret.
Okay, so for commission liaison, obviously, the snowstorm took a lot of work, and so, we're really grateful for having such a great municipal staff who could work around the clock on that. And so we were definitely fielding, some questions from constituents, why is my street plowed, how's it plowed this way? But I will say, then when I would get in touch with the municipal manager, things would be taken care of pretty quickly. So just once more, a reminder, when you hear people, complaining about all sorts of various things in municipality, if you get in touch with your commissioner, the municipal manager, et cetera, things, can be taken care of. So I just think that's something to, keep in mind, because we're very responsive staff. So in terms of new legislation, we had passed some revisions to the code to put a little more teeth into maintenance, especially of commercial properties. So we want to make sure that our commercial property owners are fixing broken windows and keeping up with the landscaping, et cetera, and just having a little more teeth in the enforcement of that, and making sure our uptown Mount Lebanon looks as good as possible, especially when we do have some absentee landlord and some vacant storefronts, and to make sure that things aren't going to lapse. And then just one suggestion I had, and just briefly talked to Laura about this, is that Jackie, our social services coordinator, with this committee helped to, suggest that someone like this be hired. She's really taken on a lot of new responsibilities and has made a big impact in our community. And just as a suggestion, maybe in, say, May or so, if you want to have her come again and speak to the group, because she spoke to us, I believe, about a year ago, but there'll be new members on the committee, and I think people will be really interested in hearing about, all the different ways she's been helping our community. So that's it.
And the reason I suggested May is because you'll be getting 2 new members, so it will be an opportunity for the new members to hear.
Great, thank you. Any questions? Great, staff.
The only thing I wanted to add about the snowstorm is, just in case you guys get questions, residents have 24 hours after the end of a snowstorm to clean up their sidewalks so that they're passable, and businesses have 4 hours. The municipality gave some latitude because of the enormous quantity of snow, and the fact that, yes, the plow did push snow back onto the sidewalks because there was nowhere else for it to go, but that they, starting today, they are writing citations, and the citation is $5 to $300 per day. That's, the judge decides what the fine is if she decides to levy the fine, if somebody's guilty, or that's how it works out in court, for every day that the walk is unshoveled. So it's important. The school district has really asked for our help in this. But it's not just school kids, it's people taking the bus to work, it's people trying to get to the T. It's important that we do have the Snow Angels program for seniors who are unable to pay to have their stuff shoveled. However, I will say that is not supposed to be a storm matching thing. That's supposed to be done at the beginning of the year. Some people kind of let it go and then panicked, and as a result, we have 40 families households looking for volunteers that we don't have volunteers for. So we've kind of put a hold on intake until we can get some more volunteers in there. The school district, I was at the PTA council meeting this morning. They are trying to promote that within the student body as well. Rules are you have to be 15, you have to have your own equipment. If you're under 18, the parents need to be okay with it. So I don't know if that's something that you can pass along in your channels, that they still need volunteers for that. And the way our staff does it is our person who's in charge of it will match somebody up with somebody in their neighborhood, and that's kind of their house for the duration of the season. So again, we don't really like to do it this late in the year, but it is what it is.
There's snow coming on Friday, right?
We're getting on Friday, so yeah. So there's a lot of good matches already out there. There also, again, people say, well, what if we can't do that? Well, there are there's next door groups and Facebook groups where people are saying, I've got my kids, they'll do it. Much as people hate social media, that is one good thing that we can do. There's also youth groups and things like that. So it's kind of, it sometimes can sound a little harsh, but ultimately a property owner is responsible for their property. Same as you have to cut the grass, you have to take your trash out. It's a safety aspect. So we try to help where we can, but can't do everything.
Is Snow Angels just teens that are paired?
No.
Like can hike?
Yeah,
I love
you
to
can.
shovel.
And we've encouraged, Move Lebo is big on sidewalk clearance and things like that. We've encouraged them to sign up.
That's through your office?
It's through our sustainability office.
Okay.
Our
So I just call
sustainability
them and see
coordinator.
if there's someone here.
There's a form online. If you go to mountlebanon.org/snowangels,
Okay,
there'll be a link to the form on there.
thank you.
I'm curious, Laura, is there any conversation between schools, crossing guards, municipality around walks and sidewalks that haven't been cleared?
Yeah, the superintendent has been involved with those conversations and has been working with the maintenance director for the school district and with Keith McGill on some of those main ones. Again, we have 227 miles of streets. It's 86 linear miles, but if you look at the sidewalks and all the lane miles of there, it's actually 250 miles. 275 miles. So it's just impossible to really get it all done. So they did have some folks out from the district actually shoveling, and I know some crossing guards are actually doing it themselves.
Crossing guards brought their shovels, that's amazing.
Yeah, crossing guards in my neighborhood, all opinions. You're probably talking the same crossing guards.
What we're really trying to do is just get the residents and the business owners to see that it's really a community responsibility. It's not really just something that a municipality does just to make your life miserable, but it's a safety aspect. And if somebody wants to report a sidewalk, as much as you're gonna say, I don't wanna do that, the answer is to call 911, and that gets it on the police radar. The police will go out and look at it. So as much as it doesn't sound like what you should be doing, that's what you should be doing.
This may segue into a later conversation, but I was also thinking for MLK Day, if that could also be an opportunity to recruit people to other volunteer efforts that maybe don't even happen that day. To have someone signing up snow angels there, because it's a moment where people are thinking about signing up and volunteering.
I don't know if we got any folks too for the Memorial Day Parade. I got another panicked message from the Memorial Day Parade saying they lost a lot of the volunteers they had last year.
Yeah, I think they basically turned over their leadership almost 100%.
Correct.
So, yeah. Which may be beneficial in some other ways, so.
No, that's a good idea.
Yeah. Great, well, thank you. Any questions from the staff? Okay, police engagement, I never emailed to connect. Shane would like to.
Shane.
So, yeah.
Just, I reached out to Chief Haberman to see if he's interested in a coffee with a cop this spring. It's been a while, so we'll see. Hopefully get a date on the calendar in early spring.
Great. As there are questions about policing, having these open events, I think, are important right now, so. Yeah. Okay, mediations. Kevin wrote me and said he has one mediation that's ongoing. It's a repeat.
There is.
Margaret handled it originally. It's going so. We're working through it. That's basically what he said. Yeah. So he's taken on. I know that he told me at MLK today he got one other inquiry that didn't result in anything, but that he felt positive about that. He knows what to do and he can reach out to you if he has questions. So, okay, DEI hasn't done anything, and then Residence Academy.
We are starting the second month. We'd had fewer people, obviously, because of the snow, but still got a nice turnout and getting positive results, positive feedback from the people that are participating, as well as the speakers. And before some of you got here, I mentioned to Laura, I wasn't sure whether people felt like that worked here really wanted to do it, and we were kind of making them, but we are hearing, particularly from Ron, who's retiring, that the high school wants to make sure that we continue to do it. And Shane was at the high school, and pretty positive. So we have, I think everybody that had volunteered, I gave you the packet. We'll send out emails. I also sent you an email with the Word document that has the email addresses of the people here, so you can just send, for the two that I'm not gonna be in the country for, if you can just send out, it's all very self-explanatory directions in front of you.
I saw that and I was like, oh my God, was I supposed to send out a reminder
Did
last
all
week?
that,
Okay.
yeah. I do that, I send out an email on Monday or Tuesday and always copy Karen, and when I remember, I blind carbon Laura because But Karen's on all of them that basically said, here's a reminder, bring your folder, bring a water bottle, yada, yada. Here's where you can park, that kind of thing. And then a follow-up with the speakers, or also an email to the speaker reminding them, and then thanking them like that day or the Monday afterwards. It's pretty standard and easy.
So I'll create, like, for the next week or the 19th.
Yes.
So where, will I be told where they should park? Is it the cemetery or is that somewhere for the public?
For the public safety, there's not much parking in the back of
No,
the
I don't like
building.
it.
It's merely the Academy lot, the Academy Street lot is where I told them to go last year, or the garage, or just on the street.
Yeah, the lot on site is just for staff.
Yes, so. And that's always a fun one because the police and the fire department really compete with each other to get the better score. And they're very obvious, they tell you that they want the better score. so.
Bribes will be involved.
They bring the treats, so you don't have to do all you need to do is have the sign-in sheet and have them sign that. You have the labels there and pick up the surveys at the end and all of their
So do they
surveys.
have, because there was a packet the other day that had surveys.
We had extra ones because we had people that are not bringing their folders, but we're reminding them.
Okay.
We're trying something different this year. We put all the surveys in the
That's what they were
folders.
So I don't have to provide surveys, they'll have.
They're in the packet.
I'd bring a few. I did 2 weeks in a row and
Where do you
a
get those?
big chunk of people missed them. I just Xeroxed a blank one. Just had
Yeah.
like 10 backups with me just in case.
If you need me to make copies or something for you, I can do that and leave it in the lobby. Just let me know
Okay.
if you need me to do
I
that.
won't be back in this building probably.
I'll come with you on the 19th.
I mean, I can send it over.
I
to
feel like I
public
can
safety.
grab one off somebody and run down to somebody.
That's what happened at the school, so that they actually Xerox at the high school.
Yeah. We just use the principals.
So trying to
I
keep
would go to the office.
reminding them to
Yeah.
bring the folders
I'll say
because
that in my notes.
like, Keith is coming this week and so he's gonna reference some stuff that's in the folder, so I haven't got to the point where but I'm thinking about it to say, just like when you take a class in college, you should come prepared.
This is just so funny to me
And a
because we've been
folder.
doing this academy for how long now? And we never even used to send reminder emails. They got the syllabus at the
I know.
beginning, they got the
We did it in
parking information at the
2015
beginning.
and there were
And it was like, here you go, and now it's like you have to tell them every week. I don't know what happened to us.
It's a different it's a different generation. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't
Not
know.
how to do it.
Anna, can I ask one question? The snacks that were behind the customer service center, did someone take them?
Yes, we
Okay,
have them and I'll bring it back and then.
okay, I just wanted to make sure it was in the right hands.
We almost
'cause-
ate the chocolate that was there.
Oh,
'cause I
well, you
thought-
probably could, and no,
And I
that's
was
a
like,
mystery
why would there
chocolate.
be cookie? I called Anna
Yeah.
freaking, I was like, I don't know if these
Think
Dove
mystery candy at
chocolates.
the municipal
Yeah.
building.
But they had cookie cutters and I was like,
Yeah.
that doesn't make sense. I don't
Yeah,
think this.
but I have to
goes with-
say, nobody
still there.
bothered it. I just had the.
Well, I told some
Yeah.
people that it was there
Uh-huh.
and just to leave it alone. And then I hadn't paid attention for a while and then it was gone. And I'm like, I'm hoping it's in the right hands. And I
No,
asked a couple of the admins
The
upstairs.
way
and
that it worked out is that the high school provided in the public, the fire department, and so for the next 2 weeks, for tomorrow, we'll have it, and
Yeah,
then
yeah.
Johanna will bring it to
Okay.
the next one, and
Just
then
wanted
we're
to make
done
sure
until
it was in the
March
right
5th.
hands.
Which
Can
will
I
have.
ask a quick question? Did you get any feedback from your side on the school visit, the high school visit?
I have not, but we also haven't met
Okay.
as a
I
board.
was just curious if,
But I know that Dr. Davis does enjoy that and sharing his institutional knowledge.
Oh, he was thrilled. I was at that PTA council meeting this morning. He was thrilled. He could not have been more effusive about how exciting and how well he thought it went. I don't know if you were in here when I was talking about how the majority of people didn't have kids in school and hadn't had kids in school. So this was totally new to them to be in the building at all. So he was thrilled.
And if you can make it for graduation, it would be great, if you can.
Where will that be?
It's here in the commissioner's room. It's on the 5th. And about 7:30 is when graduation is. You can come for the whole.
So yeah, 6:30 to 8:30, and then it just depends on how fast the speakers are.
And we have different speakers, so it might go faster than last year, so. but it's fun. Laura
Will there be
brought
will
the,
there
she
be
had the
sheet cake?
music. Pardon me?
I said, will there be a sheet cake?
There will be cupcakes.
Oh, even better.
Sheet cake requires somebody to cut it and serve it. Cupcakes don't require that.
Well, thank you, Anna, for all your organization of keeping this going. Community Service Award.
It's done.
Closed.
It is in your folder. I did not bring my computer tonight because apparently I don't even know what day it is. There were 21 nominations, but not 21 people. There was an attempted ballot stuffing on a couple of people. I put everything in there, and there
Okay.
were also, you'll want to look, there were also a couple people that added additional information that didn't fit on the form. So everything is in that folder. It's labeled 2026 nominations.
So how many individual people are there?
That's what I don't remember. I feel like maybe 10.
Oh, wow.
At
There
least
was some
10.
ballot stuff.
Yeah, there was some, and there's a spousal situation too, where there's more than one. I think they're married. They're definitely share the same last name, so. So you'll see a first initial near someone so that you can differentiate the two, so.
So when do you want the recommendation?
I mean, if we could have it by the end of the month, that would be great. The one other thing somebody from this group also usually does is take the plaque to be engraved. I don't think we had it done last year because we were just lazy about it. So the plaque will need to go to like either an engraver or something to put the names of the two winners on, and we bring that with us April 30th, which is the dinner. So that should be.
You
fun.
have the plaques?
We have the plaque. It's actually sitting outside the admin's office. So when anybody comes in to see anybody from the admin, it's on the back wall. So I could grab that for who's ever going to do that. And we have a $50 budget for it, so just we can get reimbursement for that, unless somebody knows an engraver and can get it done.
So if I remember, you were going to convene the group. Are you going out of town?
I'm going out of town till the 21st. But we could do it the last week and I can convene everybody the last week of the month, if that works.
Who all is it? It's me and you and
Who's the third?
just,
I think it's just the two of us right now that we want a third person.
We should get a third person.
Yeah, I'm glad to help.
Okay.
There you go. So if you all think you can do that in that time.
I'll send out some dates and we'll see if we can do a
I'm
couple.
happy to host at my house if you want.
And I mean, it's sitting in there, so you can read them at any time,
Okay.
so that when you get together, you've already read through them.
That's what we did. Margaret organized it last time and she had us all read everything, follow up, like they divided the people up so that each of us had so many people
How to present.
to present.
Okay.
You contacted the people that nominated them to just get additional information. And then where Laura is helpful is that there's usually some back and forth about people that may have been nominated in the past. And so we try to look at that information as well. Then you have more of the history of it. We don't have that history, so we will be calling you a bit, Laura, sorry.
So I'm here for, I can remember what day it is.
Do you want me to go in and break them apart and assign that or
that would be
something? That
great.
way, I don't do well with like fast, and that way there's less people to chase down in that last
If
week.
you would do that, Stacy, that would be great. Okay,
Or, you know, big load over there of
Okay.
stuff.
great.
Great, thank you, thank you.
Thanks, Stacy.
Yeah, and then also just in terms of follow-up questions, so often like the person who nominates won't know exactly what they did say, for example, like a not-for-profit they work for. So then often, then we would call the not-for-profit to get additional information. So, so often by talking to the person who nominated them can lead you down the path, more people to call to, so.
So they are thoroughly, I mean, I felt that everybody that we presented last year were very thoroughly vetted.
Yes.
Okay,
Okay, MLK Day. Kelsey, can you?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. I don't have the option to turn my camera on, but it was a wonderful event. Thanks to everybody who came and shared and participated. Our final count was 271 people registered,
Wow.
which is remarkable. And I estimate between 175 and 200 people who attended. We had some people sort of start at their sites, whether they like lived closer to some of the project sites or they just otherwise had communicated with me. And then we had about 15 folks who started at, why am I blanking on the name, Anna?
Asbury Heights.
Thank you.
We ended up probably with 25 people. There were people that heard about it from other people and showed up, so.
Great. So I think that was great. They needed us early based on the time that they do that activity with residents, but it was a bit of a pilot project for what it would be like to have people just start at all their sites rather than come all together and then disperse. But I got some photos from the dog rescue. It looked like very classic before and after photos, from how, cluttered their supply closet was to after. And I got lots of nice notes from residents who participated and just felt really connected to community. So I definitely would recommend that the committee continues to host it. I kept notes in the shared drive this year about, what time of year we did which thing. And then I did a few debrief notes in there as well. And
Also,
big shout out.
Do you want the photographs? Do you want the photographs, Laura? Like I have photographs from Asbury Heights and Asbury Heights did have all of the parents sign documentation so that they could take photos and put them on their website, so.
That'd be great.
Okay, I have,
Yeah.
I can send you those.
And just big shout out to Eleanor, because the high school students raised $700 under her leadership, which is remarkable. And then we did, how many kits, Eleanor, went to Global Links?
Well, there was some that was like the exact number I'm not really sure because there's some items like we didn't have like the entire kit, but we still donated the items.
Yeah.
So I think it was around 45.
Yeah, which was amazing. And Mrs. S, the teacher at the high school who Eleanor worked with, said she literally cleaned out Walmart. So I think that's a pretty cool visual of just love in action and support in action. And I really hope that strong connection with the high school students continues for the event in the future.
Yeah, and I think the high school as a site was just really good.
Yeah, that was wonderful. And so I definitely think having, if Eva's willing to make that request to Dr. Freeze again, I think it was in the summer that Todd did that for us. That was great. And the staff there, particularly Andrew on the custodial staff were wonderful.
And then since the event, I've had 2 groups that reached out to me saying that they are interested next year in having volunteers, just because they heard about it through the group.
Oh, wonderful. Yeah, I had mentioned to, I don't remember if it was to Marsha or to Rachel, that it may be nice for there to be a way that nonprofits can reach out all year long and say they're interested. So I'm not sure exactly who to direct them to. I wouldn't want to direct them to a committee member's personal email, but I also don't want to name you, Laura. So I'm not sure your thoughts around that, but that's just a thought for going forward into next year's plan.
And I got contacted because I'm easy to track down.
Yes, yeah.
So
When this group has the reorganizational meeting, and I said it was in April and I misspoke because we're not having an April meeting because of the Passover conflict. So when this group has its reorganizational meeting in May, whoever's in charge of that would be the contact person for that.
It was Kevin that agreed to do it.
Kevin, he's in Kevin's notes.
He's not
He
here,
said,
so he's in
I've helped,
charge.
yeah, he said, I've helped for the last 2 years, I'm happy to take the lead next year. So.
Great. So thanks, everybody. It was, many hands make light work, and it really was a day that I left feeling great about, and I hope you all did too.
I'm calling you out as a fibber. There was no light work to be had. So thank you very much. I was
You did
copied
a
on
lot.
all of the emails, and I know how much you all did. So thank you.
Thank you.
And so, does anyone have any other constructive feedback? I mean, my thought is we could also have ways like signups for snow angels or other things like that at this event. My other thought is I would shorten our mingling time by about 15 minutes in the beginning.
Yeah, I agree. I think we can tighten that up. And I think almost having like a mini volunteer fair, Noah, like somebody with a table with info about the snow angels, somebody with a table with info about the Memorial Day parade, because that'll give folks a little something else to do as they get ready, after they check in.
I don't know much about the Memorial Day parade. And I don't know how much work's required to that. It crossed my mind that it might be something that a neighborhood could adopt or
What is our role there? Like, what is meant by that?
So the Memorial Day Committee is a nonprofit group, and they are all dying and older, and there's no VFW participation really like there are in other towns. So Dan Miller had hoped to keep it alive. He requested a lot of volunteers. We had Rocky Blyer do the big fundraiser, and the hope was to get a groundswell of volunteers to keep it going, and that didn't, they came out for this year, but then they didn't seem to continue on. So
We talked to Todd DePestino about.
He's been involved in it. And now the I don't know, forgetting his name, the mayor of Dormont is now the new chair.
Okay.
There's no veteran involved. There's one active duty reservist who's on the committee, but there's no veteran involved in the leadership, which is also interesting. So.
And they literally need everything. They need parade marshals. They're very big on having a program. They need people to sell ads in the program. They need people to hold banners. They need people to go day of. It is a very large undertaking, and I am concerned because if we couldn't do it with Rocky Blyer and every local TV station covering it.
Wow.
I don't know. I just don't know. And in Mount Lebanon here, we have our own, so we cannot take our municipal staff and help because we're already doing our own
Oh,
ceremony.
this is one different than ours.
Correct. This is the parade. This is the parade. It starts at the Cannons in Beachview and ends at the Mount Lebanon Cemetery.
Okay, so there's only one parade, but you're talking about we have our own program.
We have our own program,
Okay, so
Memorial
I
Day
thought
weekend.
this was a parade in addition to our parade, and I was like, wait, what? Okay. That's a heavy lift.
It is a big lift. And a lot of the younger families, they like to go to the parade, but if you ask them, are you going to be here at 7 o'clock in the morning to start lining up people, and they don't, so. And I don't know what the answer is.
Nominating the volunteer fire department.
The volunteer fire department is packed, busy doing the parade, and they set up for us. So,
In March, they actually take the engine that's at the
All right,
Historic
yeah.
Society there.
and they have a service at the end. So
So they do, so a member of my staff's on is on the committee. So
Theodore's
that's where
amazing.
so that's where he's the one military person. Who has to be in the military the next time we're meeting, which is why I might not be able to be here. But, so they have the executive committee, the board of it is completely new. He's the only person who was on it last year, who's on it next year. So he senses that there's sort of new organizational energy and, some political leaders from other areas. So the Pittsburgh City Councilor who does Brookline, I don't remember his name, his office is doing it, Dormont Mayor, and he thinks that will also help sort of buoy it up because they have some other vested interests in keeping this going, so. It's a major generational shift in the parade, so. But they have $10,000.
Wow.
They did well with their fundraising last year, so they're starting off with at least cash in the bank.
But for example, there's 72 units in the parade, and they need somebody to reach out to all 72 units and see if they'll be back and who the contact is. It's a lot of.
Is that a spreadsheet somewhere that has those contacts? Like, is it?
That's a question for the committee. I don't know. I'm sure there's a list somewhere.
I can do administration stuff. I don't want to do more than write a letter. I can send out a note and see who responds back and fill that in a spreadsheet. Like, that's an easy lift.
Okay, so I'm gonna put you in touch with
Why do I open my mouth?
And then
My
you
son
can
is
see.
getting married in 5 months. I have to just remember that, so.
But many
Give
of
me
the same
Israel.
skills of planning a wedding and this parade
And my
are.
daughter's getting married 6 months after that, so.
Oh.
Okay.
That's a lot.
It's exciting. I'm that much closer to grandchildren. I'm so excited.
Well, you were talking about like opportunities, volunteer opportunities, it could be solicited at MLK Day. I'm looking to table over the next year or so to help attract school crossing guards and some other part-time employees, but especially school crossing guards. So if anybody has any ideas on that, I might start with the farmers market, but something like MLK Day, that could be an opportunity for me to come with flyers and talk to people about that.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
We've had a lot of guards retired, like, there's a lot of retirements.
Okay, anything else on MLK Day? All right. Any old business? New business? Our next meeting is Wednesday, March 4th at 6 p.m. And I adjourn the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you.